You know, when you're dealing with high-pressure steam, a single bad measurement isn't just an inconvenience, it can be a huge problem. So today, we're going to zero in on a small, pretty unassuming device that prevents all that from happening, the condensate pot. Seriously, if you work with steam systems, understanding this little guy isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll lay out the problem we're trying to solve. Then, we'll introduce the solution and see exactly how it works its magic. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of installation, because that's crucial. And finally, we'll wrap up with all the key benefits. Stick with me, and you'll see why this simple pot is a real powerhouse of precision.
Okay, first things first. Why do we even need this device in the first place? Let's dive into the core challenge of trying to measure steam.
Yeah, so measuring steam is nothing like measuring water from your tap. I mean, we're talking about a superheated, high-pressure environment that can easily top 400 degrees Celsius. Think about it. Your standard, sensitive electronic instruments, they'd be completely fried in a heartbeat. It's a seriously hostile place for any kind of measurement.
So what's the solution? How do we deal with this? Well, it's this simple but honestly brilliant little device. It's called a condensate pot, some people call it a seal pot, and it is the secret weapon for protecting our expensive instruments and getting a flow reading we can actually trust. Just for a second, imagine what happens if you don't use one. If you let that raw, scorching hot steam slam directly into your transmitter, you are just asking for a world of hurt. First, you'll cook the delicate sensors. Second, you'll get these wild, unusable signals because steam is condensing unevenly in the lines. And third, you create false pressure readings because the water levels are all over the map. It is a complete recipe for disaster.
Okay, so we've established the problem pretty clearly. Now, let's look a little closer at the elegant solution.
So, what is its main job? Well, simply put, it's a buffer. It's a small chamber we install in those little impulse lines that run from the main steam pipe to the transmitter. It's designed to collect condensed steam, which is just water, and use that water to form a protective liquid seal. You can think of it like a moat protecting a castle. That little barrier of water is what keeps all that intense heat and pressure safely away from your delicate measuring equipment.
So how in the world does this little pot pull off such a critical job? Well, it all comes down to a really simple but powerful principle in physics called a constant liquid head.
You know, the absolute genius of this design is just how simple it is. It creates a perfect separation. The line that runs to the pot, that's got the hot, unpredictable steam. But the line running from the pot to your instrument, that's filled with a stable, cool column of water, or condensate. And that, right there, is where the magic happens.
And here's the difference in a nutshell. Without a pot, your sensor lines are just total chaos, a mix of steam and water giving you pressure readings that are jumping all over the place. But add the pot, and now your transmitter is seeing a calm, stable column of liquid. That liquid perfectly transmits the pressure from the steam line, but it does it without any of the destructive heat or the chaotic signal noise.
And hey, this isn't just some textbook theory. Check this out. This is a real-world diagram from a nuclear facility safety system. You can see that condensate pot right up at the top, making sure there's a reliable reference leg for the transmitter. In a place like a nuclear reactor, where failure is simply not an option, this tiny component plays an absolutely mission-critical role.
Okay, now for a really important part. This device is only as good as its installation. I'm serious. A poorly installed pod isn't just useless, it can actually make your readings worse. So let's run through the absolute, non-negotiable rules for getting it right.
These 5 steps are basically your blueprint for a perfect install. Number 1, keep the pots close to the steam line to minimize any delay. 2, both pots must be perfectly level, and we'll see why in a second. 3, always mount your transmitter below the pots. That's how you maintain the liquid head. 4, make sure the lines slope down nice and steady to prevent any trapped air pockets. And 5, and this one gets missed all the time, you have to pre-fill the system with clean water. Don't just assume the steam will do the job for you.
I really want to hammer home that second point about keeping the pots level. As our source material from Inveno Engineering puts it, an unequal level will cause significant error due to false heads. That basically means you're creating a pressure difference that isn't really there, and it throws your whole measurement off. We're talking millimeters of precision here. It really matters. Hey, we're about to dive into different types of steam. But if you're finding this explainer helpful so far, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps other engineers and operators find this information. And hey, if you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, drop them in the comments below. Now, it's also super important to know what kind of steam you're dealing with.
For saturated steam, which condenses pretty easily, the main goal is just to maintain those stable liquid columns. But for superheated steam, which is really hot and dry, the whole challenge is forcing it to condense in the first place. That often means you need bigger pots, maybe some with cooling fins, or sometimes even dedicated cooling coils to get the job done right.
All right, so we've covered the problem, the solution, and the installation. Now for the really good part, the payoff. Why does all this matter? Let's break down the key advantages.
See, this isn't just about getting one accurate number on a screen. When you use a condensate pot the right way, you're getting a bunch of big wins. You're shielding your expensive transmitters from getting cooked. You're guaranteeing the accuracy and stability of your process data, which is huge. You're preventing dangerous steam leaks, a major safety victory. And you're extending the life of your equipment, which directly saves money in the long run.
So next time you're out in the field doing a maintenance check, these are your big 4 red flags. Pots at unequal heights, forgetting to pre-fill the lines, long uninsulated tubing. These are the usual suspects when a steam measurement goes wrong. They might seem like small things, but trust me, they are incredibly common. And now you know exactly what to look for.
So I'll leave you with this question. On your next system walkdown, what's the one component you're going to double check? Hopefully this explainer has shown you why the humble condensate pot really deserves your attention. If you want more deep dives like this into the gear that keeps our industries running, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.